Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live on the Grow Up channel. So it's been a week of it, but tonight we've got some lovely guests coming in. We've got Christine from the Little Green Shed Allotment. Hi, Christine.
Hi.
First time on.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Lovely. We got another Welshie, our Bethan. Nice to see you back on, Beth.
Hiya!
And obviously our Duchess, our Annie. Hi, Annie.
Evening, everybody.
Nice to see you all on. Anyway, thank you for coming on. I feel like the Welsh are on this side and then the English are on the other side. But really, technically, it should be like this because this could be the allotment side and the kitchen garden side. So take your pick how you want to fight it out today. So nice to see you all. I'll quickly have a little say hello to everyone in the chat and then we'll let's just do some housekeeping. So let's go from the start. Hi. Hi, Twig. Hi, Robin. Hi, Siggy, nice to see you on. Hi, Tony, thanks for coming on. Colin, Jamie, nice to see you on, mate. Jersey, nice to see you on. We've got a few admins in tonight. We'll be all right. Yeah, we've got Tony's in, Emma's in. Obviously, Linda's in as well. Hi, Elizabeth, nice to see you on. Andrew Earl, Debs, Digwell. Oh, Digwell Green Fingers. Hi, nice to see you on, Lisa. There's a few members on as well. Wendy. Hi, Christine Thompson. Nice to see you on. Everyone. Oh, evening, Danny. Oh, hi. Hiya, Sean. Thanks for coming on. It threw me then because I thought you would call me Danny Sean. Everyone's saying hello to Lynn. Hi, Mal. Mal, I've just sent you an email back as well. Nice to see you on. Right. Let's get started, shall we? Christine, how are you feeling about tonight? Are you going to be all right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be okay.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to go running for the hills or anything.
No, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
They're quite easy. They're easy going once you get them. I remember Betha when you first started. When you first did, you was a bit
Yeah.
well, it's quieter than you are now, Betha. Let's just say that.
Well, you told me not to talk until you paused, so we didn't talk over each other.
Yeah.
So I was.
No, Betha, there's a rule about that. That goes out the window when Jane Kelly's not here. When she's here, we got to do that. So, I mean, I've been on lives with Jane Kelly where we've had to have spoons to put our spoons up because it don't work otherwise. She's all right, that Jane Kelly. She's not bad, but she don't shut up, man. I'm only tricking. I bet she's there now going, that's it.
I'm just waiting for the comments, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have one. We'll have one, I tell you. But it's nice to see you all, Annie. How are you, Annie?
I'm very well, thank you. I've been in the garden most of the day today because it's actually been quite pleasant.
All right for Sam. Do you have a nice time at Malvern, Annie?
I did. It was lovely.
We met each other finally as well.
We did. Yeah, it was
look how handsome you look there. Look how handsome you look. Yeah, you had a nice time. Nice, and you met a few other YouTubers as well.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was definitely.
Was they all as short as I told you they'd be, Annie?
Everyone was taller than me.
Yeah, I know. Well, when I first seen you from far away, honestly, but when you was coming closer, you wasn't getting any bigger. That's what I found. But it was really nice to see. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're Tony saying, "Don't be daft, Danny. Jane is always late." That's true. She'll turn up about. She did say she was going to be here for 7, but that never happens. Never happens at all. So yeah, it's nice to see you all on anyway. Christine, you'll be fine. Bethan and Annie will keep me in check anyway, I'm sure. So what have you all been getting? Bethan, I've just finished watching your latest video and I have to say, things are changing on your channel. You've had a little bit of a spring clean on there. I can see you've got a little bit of jazzy music and...
Yeah, I discovered YouTube audio, that you can use. Because I was always just using the one that my software provided me with. But now I can use theirs, so it just changes it up a little bit.
That's good. You'll be like Linda before long. Have anyone seen Linda's new videos? She's got custom-made songs about Linda at the garden. And
I saw the one about Malvern, and I was like, for ages, I was like, how has she got a song about Malvern? Who's written a song specifically for Malvern?
You know what, right? Linda will never, ever stop shocking me. She really won't, honestly. She won't. And I had it on quiet as well because most of the stuff that Linda shows, I've already seen because I've been sat there having a coffee or we talk about it every day. So, yeah, I had the music done a little bit quieter. And I remember Claire from the Farmyard Garden, she said to me, have you heard Linda's music? It's fantastic. So I had to go back and watch it again then with the blooming volume up even for it was, yeah, it's a very catchy. So if you haven't seen Linda's Malvern tour, go and have a look because it is a good one. Bethan, you was missed this year at Malvern though. You normally like these little garden shows and going round and having a bit of a film.
Yeah, I was saying to Annie, it was quite far to come from where we were. It was like 3.5 hours either way. And this year, I think we just had something on at the same time, so we couldn't make it.
You couldn't be bothered, Bethan.
Yeah, that's true.
Bethan, I don't know if you can do this or if you want me to try and do it, but your volume is a little bit quieter than everyone else's. So do you want me to try and turn yours up? Or
Yeah, 'cause mine is up full, so yeah.
have a look. Try now. Talk now, Bethan.
What do you want me to say, Danny? Am I louder now?
The longest word in Welsh, Bethan.
Oh, Llanfarchol, Cwngegol, Gerrych, Broen, Rhwbl, Llantysilio, Goch.
Wow.
There you go.
It's probably not right, but it's along those lines.
It's not bad. It wouldn't bad. It sounded about all right to me. I'll lay you off there. But actually, Muddy Boots, Nigel from Muddy Boots, he can say it as well, and he's not Welsh. So I was really impressed when he sent me a voice note once, sending it to me. So yeah, Claire from the Farmyard Gardener said that's better. I did notice she was a bit quieter, but I thought it was just me. But we're all sorted now. We're going to talk about pests and problems in the garden, and we'll talk about that for about 10 minutes, and then we'll fall down that rabbit hole of talking about gardening and passion, and yeah, we'll be all right. We'll try and. I got no notes today to even try and steer the ship. So good luck to us all, eh? What have you been up to today in the garden, Annie?
Me, I've planted all my onions and my garlic today.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. I haven't. We haven't even attempted to do that yet because it's just too muddy all around the plots and stuff. I think we'll show this now. So yeah, I was showing the others. The polytunnel's been built. I'm not going to show the polytunnel because I want you to all go watch my video on Sunday. If not, you might not want to watch it, But I would advise you to go and watch it because it is a mud bath, isn't it, ladies? It is. It is a bit of a. It's like a pigsty. Inside is an absolute pigsty. I'm trying to see if I can upload the file now. Hopefully. Oh, that's awkward. It's saying I can't do it. Oh, maybe I'll just show this one. I'm gonna have to. This is not playing ball with me, so maybe I can upload it a second. But yeah, it is absolutely a bog there, and fair play to them. They carried on building all through that rainstorm we had, and So on Sunday, exciting because loads have changed. The polytunnel's built, and there's been structures built and things. So yeah, I don't know why it's not allowing me upload that picture, but yeah, I don't think I've got another. Don't know what's going on. Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. So,
Wants to wait till Sunday.
It does. I think that's what it's doing. Is making me wait until. Let's see if we can open this up. Oh, yeah, well, we got some life now. Maybe it's working. So, yeah, if everyone wants to see, this is what they had to work in South Wales yesterday. It was like this freak rainstorm it started early hours in the morning. They turned up at 7 a.m., but luckily they came in the afternoon the day before because they wanted to try and get some of it done. And this is what the base of my polytunnel looks like right now. Look at this. Oh, honestly, it is absolutely horrific. But what can you do, eh? What can you do? But yeah, Cheryl just says melted chocolate. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. Absolute crazy. Someone said I've seen it already. It was on Russian TV. I wish I was having royalties from Russian TV. Yeah, but things are moving along. So yeah, Christine, what have you been up to in the garden this week? Tell everyone if people don't know your channel, Christine, sell it to us. Go.
Okay. Well, Little Green Shed Allotment. I've had my plot just about 18 months now. and I'm pretty new to allotmenteering. I've always enjoyed a bit of gardening, so it's been a bit of a learning curve. But for this week, my focus actually for the last couple of weeks when I go to the plot has been my fox. So I've been, because I work, I sort of nip round there in my lunch break or after work, because I've been administering some medication at the moment for the fox. But whilst I'm there, I'm still harvesting tomatoes. These are outdoor ones.
Wow.
Good for you.
Which I'm shocked, really. They've just got a little bit of blight. But yeah, harvesting tomatoes. I haven't got to my onions and garlic yet, but hopefully that's this weekend.
I always do mine on Halloween. That's like my thing. Halloween, and then I normally harvest around about my birthday. But I just think it's a nice day to do it, Halloween, eh? But yeah, you have got a fox, and a lot of people wouldn't like having a fox on their plot. You see a lot of people moaning about foxes jumping on the nets, messing in the beds, digging up things if they've got bloodfish and bone in the ground and things. But you love your fox. Have you got a name for your fox, Christine?
I haven't, because I don't know whether it's a he or a she. So yeah,
did you just assume it's gender, Christine?
Well,
I mean, it could just be a they them. It could be a they them.
A gender neutral name, I suppose. But
yeah,
I call it the friendly fox. But it has
lovely though.
It's definitely
it's like a dog.
This is actually when I discovered it got an injured leg, and then I got some advice from a charity, excellent charity here in the southeast, and the Fox Project, and they're the ones that have been advising me what medication to administer, and they recommended that I put it in Victoria sponge cake.
Well, the fox.
No, just the medication, not the fox.
I did see it, and do you know what? I seen that swirl cake, and I thought, God, even I thought that's a bit too nice for a fox. That
I know. Well, I went into like a local shop and no Victoria sponge, so it ended up with like a clotted cream and raspberry Swiss roll.
Look lovely.
It
did look lovely.
But it's working. The medication is working. But you're absolutely right, Danny. A lot of people would not like a fox on their plot. So, and I don't know whether I'm imagining this, but ever since I've befriended this fox and it comes onto my plot, it hasn't done one bit of damage. And I think in a way it's become
a guard fox.
It's
territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Annie, you had a bit of problem as well with a bird when we was on the last live. Remember I seen...
Yeah, it's a pigeon.
Am I allowed to show this picture?
Yeah.
It's Annie in a bikini, it is, in south of France. I mean, look at him, poor thing.
It's got canker, and the rescue people that I was talking to on the phone when I was watching you said to me, "Can you catch it?" How'd you catch a pigeon?
Wow. Yeah. Dick Dastardly didn't he? Was it him, Dick Dastardly?
Yeah, poor thing. It's still about, but I can't catch it. It's just, if I go anywhere near it, it's reasonably, I won't say tame. It's not shy.
Yeah. When I seen this picture though, Annie, I thought that looks just like me after a couple of ciders at Malvern. Exactly like that.
Yeah, but
it's exactly like that. I hope they get. Is it? Will he just get better, or?
I don't know. She said to me, if we catch it, she said it looks pretty bad. We'll probably euthanize it. But she thought it would die that night because it was going to be particularly cold. Because that was the night of the aurora.
Perhaps had the mosaic virus, Annie. I'm joking, Annie.
Well, it was clear skies, which meant the temperature was going to really drop, which it did because we had a frost. But it was there the next day, and it's been here all week. So I don't know.
Well, get well soon, pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christine, apart from your fox pest, do you have any other problems on your garden? Like, what have been your challenges there? Because you have got a pretty nice allotment, haven't you? You've got a nice plot. It is a bit.
Well, it is now. It wasn't when I took it on.
It looks a bit like you've done that, to be honest. So it's a bit of one of those. I mean, look at that. Christine, I've noticed those bars on the top. This is before you.
Yes, the upside down bars.
What happened, Christine? What happened there? I like this idea, though. I like this bar idea to keep the hoops together. And
Yes.
Christine, you'd be pleased to know from your recommendation, I ordered the clips and they came today. So
excellent.
I'm going to be adding some on. But yeah.
Well, I believe it was your channel, Danny. When I first got the allotment, I was binge watching so many channels, and I saw the hoops from First Tunnels and thought, well, they look a lot more robust. But I didn't like the idea of putting 3 hoops in a bed and them sort of perhaps collapsing in a bit, or the net sagging between.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bit of a neat freak person.
I think the difference is, I think your beds, the reason I use 3, I think is because your beds are not as big as mine, though, are they? Because mine, I think, are 3 foot by. Are your hoops 3 foot wide?
My beds are 6 by 3.
Yeah, so mine are 10 by 3, and there's no reason for that. It's just the planks of wood were 13 foot long, so I cut them 10 by 3 to use the wood. But and plus I do get, I get about 10. I get out of a 10 foot. I normally get about 10 cabbages in a bed, so it works out about what I need. But yeah, I do like this idea of the bar across. So you might see that if I inspired you to get them, Christine, you're now going to inspire me to upgrade mine. So
that's fair.
Yeah, but they do look really good. And you've got a mini polytunnel. You've got a First Tunnels polytunnel as well.
I have. Unfortunately, my allotment site is a council-run one, and so we do have quite strict restrictions on size of buildings, structures. So I was only permitted a mini sort of polytunnel, but it's brilliant. I love it. It's already...
I didn't mean that. I was thinking of a mini one, but I think Nanu has got the same. Think, is yours 6 by 8?
That's right. Yeah, that's the size.
I think Nanu's allotment does the same thing. We're lucky that at my site they allow bigger than that. I think it's about. Mine's the maximum you can get, and of course I'm going to get the maximum I can get. So I thought, if I got a space there, I may as well. But it looks nice, though. Your allotment looks lovely and all, and yeah. I think Annie, have you thought about, going back to the allotment life? I was going to ask you this the last time you were on. Have you ever been tempted to get like another half plot or another plot?
Not really. No, I like the convenience of it's literally here all the time. The allotment plot that I had, I didn't have a shed on it. I had to cart my tools there and bring them home every time. When I got my car's really old now, but when I first got it, it was convertible with cream leather interior, and I was putting a wheelbarrow in it, put the roof down, put a tarp in the back, and then put the wheelbarrow in there. And I thought, I'm not doing this. And
that's like me. I had exactly the same thing has happened to me, Annie. I had a new car 2 weeks ago, and it's already full of tools, and I had to get in there with my boots today and all as well. So, yeah. As someone has just, I love how Claire's just named your fox Charlie.
Yes.
My dog's name's Charlie as well, so that's a good name.
I think someone suggested Danny actually as well.
I think that's a good. I used to have a frog. I used to have a friend who named her frog after me, so that was a nice compliment. Does your plot neighbours like seeing Charlie though? Are they as happy to see the fox as you, Christine?
I must admit, those that are experiencing a few sort of dug up beds and things. Have made comments, and we've got like a Facebook group, and somebody did say on there, your fox. So I thought, it belongs to me now. And I did respond, like, your fox has done this. And I did go back and say, don't worry, I'll have a word.
I'm sure you're very popular right now because they're having all the trouble and you're feeding it Victoria Sponge and trying to make it get better.
But to be fair, you know, we share the land with them, don't we? And
yeah. You know,
it's going to be there anyway. So when all of you've gone home and the gates are locked, it's going to be there.
Absolutely.
You might as well embrace it. That's how I feel about the pigeons. I can have 10 pigeons in my garden at one time, but they leave everything alone because I feed them.
Yeah. I wonder if it's that. Yeah.
We used to have a pigeon coop when I had the grapevine garden. There was a pigeon coop, and everyone used to say, "Oh, we don't mind the pigeon coop because the pigeons never bother our plots." And I'm thinking, I come down here later than you lot, and I see those pigeons. They come down and they swoop down into those gardens every evening. They just wait until you know. They just, like you said, Annie, it's better from the. You know they're going to be there, so I'd rather be watching them when they're there because they're gonna turn up when you leave anyway. So there's nothing you can do about it. If they live there, then they're going to come, 24 hours a day, and just embrace it. Like some people don't like squirrels. I love a squirrel. I do. I actually like him in my garden, and I like him. Bethan, do you have any pests or any trouble with rural animals where you live? Because you're quite rural, aren't you?
Yeah, we are quite rural, but I think because we've got chickens and a cat, we don't tend to have any trouble with birds or anything like that. And we never had the fox.
Chickens?
No, we never had fox after the chickens. But I know just around the corner in the village, they have had a fox there. So there is foxes around, but for some reason they've just never come here. We did have trouble with rats last year. But, yeah.
Bethan, I will say though, I seen your last video, as I just mentioned, and I like the little start of it, the little intro. That IBC's got a heavy flow on it. I seen you come out with a watering can, and then he was going out further and further and further, and I like this new Bethan that you've embracing your character a bit on there as well, which I like to see as well. You're having a little bit of a giggling laugh because when I met you, when you came down to, you came down to visit Linda, really, let's be honest, and then I just happened to be,
That's quite right, yeah.
When you came down to visit Linda and I was there, I intruded. You come out your shell more and you're more bubbly and you're, dare I say, you're more Welsh. So,
I think that's probably because I've gone back to Wales and I pick up the accent again. Because when I'm up here, I slow my accent down without realizing it because nobody understands me otherwise. And everyone has always said when I've been in work and things, and I come back from holiday in Wales, they're always like, your accent is a lot stronger now. So it does pick up.
I think you've got. People say that we've got the same accent, and I disagree with that completely. I think yours is a lot stronger than mine. But I've had a few people say, "Oh, you sound like Bethan's kitchen garden."
Well, that's not such a bad thing, Danny.
Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. I'm just saying. I think you're Welsher than me. But I will say, Bethan, I watched your last video, and you do know your stuff. So if people haven't seen your channel, there is loads to learn on there. I will say, I do. You're one of my channels where I think, oh, Bethan's gonna know because you do know stuff though. As a YouTube gardener, that's bloody rare. That is, you actually know how to do stuff on there. Like you chopping all those branches back, and you do mucking though, don't you, Bethan? Like you do get in there and.
Oh yeah. I enjoy that side of it. That's what I like doing. Really, is the building and constructing things and maintenance and things. And then occasionally I have to do some
Bethan, and like these two down here, all posh. I mean, posh raised beds and. Oh. But you do have posh stuff as well, Bethan.
I built
that little mini greenhouse.
I built that and nearly chopped my finger off doing it.
Oh God, Annie, I will say though, Danny's voice is a high. Yeah, that's about right. Annie, I will say I absolutely roared. I did roar. Because I love your facial expressions, Annie, because you're very visual. And I did absolutely roar when you harvested those Greek Gigante beans. And you were so excited. And I was excited as well because I'd sent you them. And then you opened them out, and your face was literally like full view of the camera, and it was like a mystery. You were staring out of the shed and out of the window, and you was. Oh, honestly, Annie, I can't even tell you how much I was laughing my head off at that but that can happen. Bethan, have you ever done the Greek gigantes when they revert back from the year before after they've cross-pollinated?
No, I've never grown Greek gigantes. But
well, if you come in spring, I'll give you some, Bethan.
Oh, okay. I did have some from Ali and Tricia from the Right Pear Plot. They sent me like what they had left over, but I never got around to planting them. So, yeah.
Well, I harvested all of them. Sorry, I was going to say I harvested.
Have you got any now, Annie?
Harvested all of mine, and I ought to set up a competition for the right answer. How many pure white beans did I harvest?
I reckon 1.
3.
7.
None.
5.
Oh. We was in
a bowl full of beans. They're all different sizes. Most of them.
Was they big white beans though? Were they big white beans?
No, they were really small.
No, this is so. What I've noticed with the Greek gigantes is if you plant them close to, say, for instance, like Firestorm or like a pinky mottled black spotted bean, like the general runner bean. I've noticed that they do cross-pollinate so easily, and you don't know on that season, so you'll harvest the white beans then. And I have noticed this. I've looked into it as well, and it is quite common to happen that you'll have the white beans, you'll plant them then, and the next year, the dominant plant, which was the mother plant, you end up getting the runner beans. Let's just pretend that it's the father plant, so they do overtake it a bit. So yeah, it's one of those pot luck things, I think. But Linda was doing the same sort of thing. But you'll know a Greek gigante bean even before you harvest it because they're always about 3 centimeters wide. They're so wide. So
yeah,
they look
my pots were really wide and big, but when I was opening them up, they all looked like massive runner beans. They were huge.
Well, I think, Annie, you should plant those in spring, right? And maybe you'll get Greek gigantes from them. Well, maybe try it the other way round.
They're all in the freezer.
Oh, yeah, Kerry. Nice to see you on. Thanks for turning up, Kerry.
Hello, Kerry.
Nice to see you on Moorside Gardener. I think that you should come on as well. So it's nice to see that you've come on. Oh, Freddie's on. Hi, Freddie, the young gardener. There's quite a few on. All the YouTubers are now ganging up now. Tony, I took a plot last year. Sorry about this Amherst allotment here. It seems like him and Tony's having a conversation between them. So we'll leave them to it, We'll leave them to it. This does happen sometimes. Oh, yeah. So it's nice to see that Freddie's on, Kerry's on. But yeah, yeah, it does happen, Annie. I mean, sometimes we think of pests as those bugs and the, rodents and things. But sometimes a pest can just be something that just didn't work out and you wanted it to. So, and it does happen. It does happen. But yeah, never mind. But yeah, maybe I've got some more, Annie. If you do need some, we could try again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Moorside Gardener, send an email because there is a little list of people who can come on because, believe it or not, people can become ill or can make a live or something like that. So there is a list now. There's a couple on there. But yeah, Moorside, if you want to come on. And I have said that the list isn't first come. I randomized. I think it's fair to do that because, yeah, I wouldn't want someone to think, oh, it's going to be them next, and then it doesn't happen. So, I mean, yeah. But yeah, could be you. It could be that week. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, the lives of chock-a-block all the way up. I've been really, really organized with them. I mean, you all know you had your dates and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I sent those way in advance. And I mean, after Christmas, I have got a list for Christmas as well for other YouTubers. But yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I did give a few others extra dates, I mean, like Jane Kelly, because she does pay me. She pays me to have her on the channel, and so I do like to help her out. It's a bit like, when you have home help, that's what we're a bit like with Jane Kelly. We all look after her.
Oh,
I'm trying to get her to reply, but it's just proving that she's not really here. I sent Digwell has said I sent a load of gigantes out to my club members today. Oh, have I froze? No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have
Oh
now.
yeah.
Am I back?
Yes.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know whether or not I can. For some reason, something's happened to the chat. It's this thing, honestly. So basically, Digwell said I sent a load of Greek gigantes out today to my club members. Nice little way of plugging up your members there, Tony. Digwell, all white and grow into normal runners. Runners pollinated before the flowers open, and they need a bee to trip them. But the export, that's too complicated for me. That is, Digwell. I don't know what you're on about there. You are. Am I still here? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. The chat thing on my side. Sometimes this goes funny, you know. You weren't frozen, oh, they were. But yeah. So I might actually have to leave a second because otherwise I won't be able to put the pictures and all on the screen. So Annie, do you wanna carry on? Go for it, Annie.
No.
I'll be back now.
Oh my goodness. All right then, Bethan. So what pest have you had this year that's been a real problem?
I've only really had one, which is black fly on my leeks. So I did go out of my way to make an enviromesh cloche because I always suffer with allium leek miner. And then, sorry, Danny's whizzing us all over the place.
What did I miss?
Me telling them about my black fly on my leeks. So that was the major pest that I had. And you just can't get rid of them. You just can't. I tried hosing them off and everything, but it just didn't work. So,
no.
Annie,
the leeks had to go again.
You had black fly on your leeks, so wasn't it, Annie?
No, it was flea beetle. Never ever experienced it. This was the first time, and they were disgusting.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot, isn't there?
They literally exploded overnight. I'd never seen anything like it. Every single plant was covered.
Yeah, I think that's the thing though, Beth, and when you just mentioned about the net, so sometimes, and I've said this before in the live, sometimes we net things to keep things out, but if the eggs are already in there from the year before or whatever, you're locking them in then, so nothing, and you know.
Well, I had Enviromesh on there, but it wasn't the ultra fine. It was the one a grade up, so they were still able to get in. But I saw a few on a couple of the leeks, and I kept spraying them with what's it called, SB Plant Invigorator, because I thought they were black fly, and it wasn't doing anything. I didn't realise it wasn't doing anything. What was happening? That I think they were breeding, and I went out there one morning, and it was like everything was covered. It was just black. It was disgusting. I've never seen anything like it.
So will you grow leeks next year, Annie? Maybe in a different place? Or
I've got them now. What I did that year is I got them all out.
That was last year. It was last year, wasn't it? Because I remember weirdly, Annie, I put you. You was on the same live last.
Yeah, I've lost track. No, I think it was last year. Yes, it was. It was last summer.
I remember we talked about it because it was funny. After I put the people's names in, I felt a bit bad afterwards, Annie, because you'd actually the pest and problems last year as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was about June, July last year that it happened. So I got everything out, and although I am organic, I did manage to get a spray, and it said it was organic, but it was pretty brutal to kill them all. And I had to keep spraying it to make sure I got rid of them all. And then what I did
you had to wash everything, didn't you?
Yeah, I put loads of thick cardboard down on the bed to bury any grubs that are in there. And then I absolutely topped it up with manure and compost. And then I put green manure in. And I didn't grow anything in that bed until early this year. And in early spring, my chives, I noticed there was a few on my chives. So I got them all out and got rid of them. I've got some garlic chives, and they're a kind of an indicator. If I've got them in the garden, they show up on that. And I've not seen them since. But the leeks that I've got in now, and the onions that I've put in today, and the garlic, I've got the Ultra Enviromesh on now, which is awful stuff. It's so tight, it's almost like rigid plastic. You can't gather it up. It's really, really difficult to work with, but I've had to do the best I can just to try and protect them because I don't want to lose them again.
It's all sent to test us, isn't it? Christine, you obviously use a net, but Bethan, you use a different net to us, though, didn't you? I've seen you having. You don't use the white net, so do you, Bethan?
I do for Enviromesh, but I have got cabbage nets that are black, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen
and
the
I
black
have
ones
got
on
rubble netting that is green.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I used to use that, but I used to find that I couldn't see in the beds enough, and then I used to miss weeds and things. So the white ones to show up the weeds, so you have to go in that bed, but that still don't happen. But the mystery's been solved as well. So I don't know if anyone's seen my channel recently where I didn't know how these two plants were in my Brussels sprouts bed, and it's been annoying me, to be honest. But I think they're purple sprouting broccoli. So, but Cheryl on our allotment, she's renowned for not labeling things properly, and I think that they just happened to fall into the sprout, and I had extra sprout plants from her. So, yeah, mystery solved with that. But yeah,
Moorside gardeners just asked Annie, would fleece keep them out? Well, I've no idea because I haven't got any fleece. So, is that? I mean, I presume that is like a netting, but it must be very, very soft.
Yeah, it's a bit like. Have you ever used the stuff in your greenhouse, Annie? The thin fleece to keep the frost off the plants. I think Charles Down used it as well.
The fleece that I've always used has been like that. It's almost like a polystyrene fabric that you get in a lot.
Yeah, I see.
Because whenever I get that, if it comes in packaging, I keep it and I use that.
Yeah. I think the fleece might work because the only thing is you got to watch with no airflow then as well, you know.
Oh, right.
But Claire's just said though that the black mesh is even better. It's so much easier to see inside the nets. Yeah, I have thought about going to the black nets, but yeah,
I prefer the black nets because in the garden it looks nicer. I don't like the white nets, but that's what I've got now because it's the only.
This is where I spend a pile more money. Where do you buy this black nets from?
Well, I thought the black net was like cabbage netting, though, so it wasn't like Enviromesh, so it wouldn't keep out carrot root fly or anything. So it'll only keep out, cabbage
butterflies,
like
birds.
That. Yeah,
it's bird netting.
I had my first butterfly in the new polytunnel today as well, and I thought, oh, here we go. Once they get in, they're so stupid, aren't they, these butterflies? They fly into these things like greenhouses, and you think you've got two big doors, and you'll still keep it in the plastic. And so I was faffing around trying to get this butterfly out this afternoon. But yeah, we are. So Tony's just said you can buy black Enviromesh. I don't ever buy Enviromesh though because I find that brand too expensive. That's what I find. So I always just type in veggie mesh in like Uberry, and it's the same stuff, but you can get the different grades and get a finer one from there. But yeah, it is.
Is that just a stiff though? The really ultra fine?
No. It's really flexible. It's the ones I use, Annie. They're ultra fine, but you can bunch it up, and cable tie it and do whatever you need to do as well. Someone said, "Can I have a link to Claire?" I tell you what, I'll get Claire to send me the link, and I'll put the link to this product in the description after the live.
Oh, okay.
There you are, Claire's. But if Claire wants to put it into the chat, she can as well. Is that Paddy? Oh, no, is that your dog, Christine?
That's my dog.
Christine, we're always welcome to have a dog in. Show your dog. We're always happy. Paddy's been on the live before. Charlie has.
Oh, here we go.
There you are. Oh,
that's so sweet.
That's that fox from the allotment. What are you on about? You're all right. That dog is our fox. That fox is looking for his baby. What's your dog Fox's name? Go on, say Charlie.
This is Bella. And to be honest, I used to take her to the allotment, but I've stopped because she would be way too interested in the fox. So
and plus to be fair, and your dog probably might catch fleas as well and all and things from the
there is. Well, I think she'd try and chase it. It's the terrier in them, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't
Charlie's
want to
like
stress the fox. It's got a poorly leg as it is, so it doesn't want to be chased by a dog. So yeah, she's she's missing out. She misses out on an additional
Tony. Tony said, I just buy veggie mesh, like Danny says. I do have enviro mesh, but I just dye it all in the washing machine.
Really?
Well,
I don't think I'd be able to
here
get enviro mesh in the washing machine. It's so bulky and so stiff.
Wow.
I use some to cover my carrot. Like I built like a carrot box thing to cover the bed. I did use enviromesh for that, but my other netting is from it's actual net curtaining from IKEA.
What a good idea.
They sell like
Annie be straight there now. Hot dog and some meatballs and
I hate netting. Today, the language that was coming out of me was just as well my neighbours were all at work, because netting brings the worst out of me. And if it's not the fact that I can't mould it because it's so stiff, then it's the bird netting and the cabbage white butterfly netting.
What do you hate about it so much, Annie?
On everything, and it snags on everything, and I just get so wound up.
I never come to my net. Do you cut your net into the right size of the bed though?
Yeah, as much as I can. But I've got the hoops, the pipe hoops.
Yeah.
So
we don't have that problem, Christine, do we? We don't have that problem. I will say though, with these first tunnels one, I'm not going to be plugging first tunnels like though tomorrow. You know, I'm not going to stick a label up in the corner there saying first tunnels. But I do like first tunnels. I know people are going to say, yeah, that's only because they give you polytunnels, but it's not. I was buying first tunnels products from before I even had my channel. You know, my allotment was all first tunnels hoops, but it was only because people used to say to me, "Oh, what can we get you for your birthday or Christmas?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know," because I had everything I felt like I needed. So I used to say, "Oh, can you just buy me 2 hoops?" So every family member was buying me like bits, and so yeah, that's how I had so many. And then they are sponsored by First Tunnels.
They are essential. They're not going to move, and with the addition of the pipe clips holding them to the bed, then they don't move. You don't have to worry about them going inwards.
Yeah, but, she is.
For the netting, the lengths that they sell it does a 6-foot bed easily.
Yeah,
so it works out £2.
I tend to buy I buy the 3-foot hoops, but I've also got the 4-foot hoops, and then I tend to buy 10 meters from eBay of the mesh, and that's for £7 or £8. Or I buy the 20-meter lengths, depends which one's cheaper, and then 10 meters tends to do 3 of my long beds. That's how I tend to do it, and I get a 2.5 width. So if you are thinking about if you've got a 3-foot. My bed's a 3-foot by 10-foot, and I tend to get the 2.5 meter width because that's enough to go over the actual hoop and have a little bit left to clip on. So if you are thinking about it, but Jane's in the house. Jane, you said you was going to be here for 7. It's now 4:15. Jane, you're going to have to go back and rewatch everything because Bethan was talking about you all the way through. I didn't say a word about you,
Jane. I wasn't.
I was sticking up for you all the way through, Jane. You know I would do that. But yeah. Linda's telling me to like and... Oh, don't forget to like this live. Thanks, Linda, for telling me that in the private chat. I'll like my own live. So someone has said to Annie, hi, Annie. Oh, Debbie. Sorry, the name didn't come up then for a second. Hi, Annie. I use EnviroMesh Ultra Fine too, but mine is not stiff. Maybe they sent you a really high grade, Annie, you know? Because I have seen it, because the first tunnels mesh, if you ever buy that, it's the same stuff they use on the front of their doors. And Oh, I'm glad that Mark. Anyway, so that mesh is really tough, and I find that really, Moorside's gardener says, I want one of their mini tunnels. I think it's Gem in the garden that has one. It's brilliant. Yeah, Moorside, she has got one. And I have. Well, I did. I gave mine away, but I think I got another 2 coming, but that's another story. So I donated my one because it had plastic on. So I felt like having a big polytunnel and a greenhouse and having that mini polytunnel it was too much for the plot, really, to have all undercover like that. So I gave that to a friend on the plot, Lisa, and the other tunnel to Linda. So I'm going to have 2 of those mini polytunnels now, but with the mesh on that I talked about, the green stuff, and they can be lifted up as well. So yeah, hopefully that'll be my brassica beds for next year, but we'll see. We don't know what's going on with that yet. Jane just said, you clearly don't check your messages. This is a swear word, Jane. I'm going to replay. Jane, might be a bit later. Stuck on the toilet. Bad stomach. No, she's off to see it. She's late to the live because she off to see. Can she spot a comet first? God, get a life, Jane. Jane was out. It's definitely. Hi, Joanne Jensen. Nice to see you on. Jane, that's not excuse. We're not allowed a proper polytunnel, so we hope to get away with a mini poly. I think Digwell Green Fingers is the same as that Moorside Gardener as well. They're not allowed to have the polytunnel stuff. I think it's a shame. I think it's a real shame that allotment sites are so strict on certain things. I think there should be an agreement that if you do, you sign a contract or something to say that if we go, we will take it down, And I think that's how the allotment should be from now on, is that you sign or even a deposit. Like, I think that will be the thing in the end, that you leave your allotment clean and tidy, exactly how you had it or better. And if you don't, then you lose, say, £100. And I think that would stop people from leaving so much rubbish on their plots,
That would have been useful.
Mine was horrific. When I first took on my first plot, I had 3 trees that they'd cut down to 3 foot, so you couldn't even grow the fruit off them. I had car tires and plastic all over it, buckets of glass, and and then you had Kerry from Dog in the Plot then saying, "Oh no, they've dug over my allotment, and someone has donated me a greenhouse, and it's terrible." But yeah, you know what I mean, Christine. Was yours as bad as some of them, or?
The sad thing was, my plot, I'd been on the waiting list for about 3.5 years, and it transpired that the plot that I actually got was actually dug over, lovely, but it took so long for the council to organise. Even though there's been this waiting list, it had sat there for months. So yes, by the time I took it on, the weeds had taken hold. There was rubbish. Wow. It was in a pretty sorry state. I remember being showed round, and
but look what you did to it, though.
Well, I can't take all the credit. I'll be honest.
Oh, you wouldn't. You're like Kerry from Dog in the Plot, are you?
No, what happened is when I viewed it and I saw all the weeds and the rubbish and everything, I recruited a gardening company to just come in for a few hours and do it, because I knew I was doing it on my own, and I was so daunted. And I thought, if I start off daunted, I'm going to lose interest. I need to be able to get in there, get it cleared, get it covered, and then it's a blank canvas. So I made the investment of hiring a gardening company. And to be honest, they did it.
Was that costly, though, Christine?
It did cost.
I'm not going to say how much, just...
No, do you know what? I think it was worth every penny. So, yeah. I mean, people are going to be like, well, yeah, how much? It cost the equivalent of hiring a couple of gardeners for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So people who have home gardeners and that.
You listening to this, Kerry from Dog in the Plot? Christine paid people to do her allotment over. And you everyone go and watch Kerry's first video after this, honestly. You'll see what I was thinking as well. And she was in very I'm only joking. I actually had a bit of backlash last live. not so much backlash, but a few comments saying like, "Stop picking on Kerry," and it made me paranoid about it. Like I even messaged Mayu as well, saying like, "Oh, Mayu, I hope," but it's just because watch Kerry now go, "No, I'm a victim and all this," but there is like this behind the scenes banter with Kerry and Mayu, and it's just that I forget sometimes that the viewers might not see that I actually am friends with some of them as well. But not Kerry, I'm not friends with her. She's horrible. She's but yeah, there was a few comments, but no one loads, but there was one or two that said like, "Oh, poor Kerry." But yeah, Christina just said, she also just said it was a very sensible decision, Christine.
Thank you.
It was. I think so. I kind of think, Tony, you're just a bully. Tony, you're the bully, not me. Not me. No, it's just friendly banter with allotment friends and stuff as well. Look at her now. She said he's lying. Mayu sent me a lovely voice note reassuring me that I'm salt of the earth and the best thing that's ever happened to her. And that's what she said. Look at Jane. I know he's lying, Kerry. Yeah, you just like to do this, you lot do, honestly. And this is bullying. This is Janie bullies me rotten.
Oh,
look at all this now. Honestly,
yeah.
just Jane. I feel like you could donate to the channel for this. I think that's what that'd be a nice thing, wouldn't it? No, but yeah. I just thought I'd bring that as well. Yeah, and I definitely wouldn't pick on Annie. I mean, next time she see me, she'd give me a right hook. I can see it now. But yeah, and Linda would always put me in my place anyway. Linda always does. She strikes with an iron fist. That woman strikes with an iron fist. She's in the back row now. She's probably telling me off. Look at Linda. Doesn't she look like Kate? Prince William's wife, doesn't she? Today she looks like one of the royals there with her headband on, and yeah. Linda Windsor, that's her name from now on. Oh God, George Martin, don't say things like this. I'm not a cyber bully at all. Good Lord. This is going to start off. This is going to become a riot. Oh, you're Janie bullies Rocky as well. Rocky don't care.
Oh,
yeah, I could do with some.
Sorry, Chrissy, where about in Kent are you?
So I'm in Gravesend.
Oh, because I grew up in Orpington.
Oh, okay.
Annie, you got a link to every YouTuber, I think, somewhere down the line.
No, not really. No, I've lived in Cambridgeshire now for 30 odd years, but I grew up in Kent. My mother's family's all from Sandwich. My dad's from Tunbridge Wells, but I grew up in Orpington.
Nice. No, born and bred Gravesend, never escaped.
I lived in Swanley for many years as well.
Oh,
it's not far from you.
No, it's not at all. It's just
down the A2.
There you are. That's another person you can go and visit now, Annie.
Sorry?
That's
someone else you could go and visit now.
Yeah.
You've got all these contacts now through here, honestly. I think it's lovely. I thought one of the best things, Annie, I thought was lovely was when you realised that Ali and Trish wasn't far away and they had bark from you. And I mean, that was a weird, surreal moment, wasn't it?
That was the strangest story. Those that don't know it,
you wasn't a guest. You wasn't a guest then on that night, though. They were, wasn't they? Wasn't it the other way around?
Yeah, they were a guest on your show. Yeah.
And you was typing in, and you said, "I think they came and had some bark off you."
Yeah, because my son's a tree surgeon, and when I revamped all my garden and built all my raised beds, I couldn't afford to fill them all with new soil, so I filled them half full of wood chippings. So my son turned up one day with a truckload and just dumped it all on my driveway. It was like a pyramid. So I used what I could, and the rest of it I advertised on Marketplace, and these two lovely ladies turned up, one of them which happened to be a Canadian. So they took it all away, what I didn't use, and then some months later they popped up on Danny's live.
Yeah.
And I thought,
yeah, and they had a YouTube channel as well. It's funny that you both met and you both had gardening YouTube channels, and
they live about 2 miles from me.
Amazing, isn't it? Small world.
Very small world. And then you met up then, didn't you, for a coffee then?
Yeah, we did.
But I believe Ali and Trish are getting married soon as well. So, yeah, I hope they send me some cake. They do. Have you all planted your daffodils and your tulips now and everything else? Have you all done your spring bulbs? Annie, I bet you've done all yours, have you?
I don't usually grow them, to be honest.
Really?
I have bought a few this year, which are going to go in tubs, but I certainly don't put them in the beds because I haven't got enough space. Because obviously I want to grow my vegetables. I'm going to have to compete for space.
Yeah, I get that. Bethan, I bet you deliver daffodil, don't you, Bethan?
Well, I only ones that I've previously planted that come up every year. I haven't put any in tubs or anything this year. I was thinking about doing it, but they're quite expensive, aren't they? I think.
Yeah, I called in the garden centre about a week or so ago, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll pop and get. And this is not me trying to redeem myself from those bully comments now, but I thought I'll say thanks to Cheryl and Linda. And we all do. This is not me trying to make it I'm some kind of saint, but we all do gift each other quite often and things. And I thought, I'll pop in the garden centre and I'll get some daffodils and whatever, and I'll get some for Linda and Cheryl as well to say thanks. Can't remember. They did something else. No, they didn't dig over the allotment or something, but I mean, they must have done something, and I was saying thanks to them. So I picked up some bulbs, and when I got the till, I'd spent £58 on daffodil bulbs. Yeah. And I thought, I was thinking at the till, why have I wouldn't begrudge in their daffodils, but I mean for myself as well, I bought quite a lot because down the new polytunnel, there's like a 1 foot long strip now of empty space. So I thought it'd be nice to just mix all the daffodil bulbs up there. But £50, I thought, wow. I know. They're really expensive. They're like, you get like 10 bulbs for like £6 now. They're really expensive. Yeah. I did buy different ones, you know.
Well, in our garden centre, we tend to sell tailors.
Yeah.
Which are not that expensive. But we do loose daffodils where you pile them in. You just fill up a bag as much as you can. And it's only £6.99. And the bag's quite big.
Maybe you were looking in the wrong section, Danny.
I was in the proper posh garden centre as well, I tell you now. It's one of Linda's regulars. She likes the coffee there. She likes the coffee shop. The Secret Garden. We like it there. But nice to see Julie and John on as well. So we met Julie and John. We met Malvern, didn't we?
We did.
Annie. We did. So it's nice to see that they're on as well. So if anyone doesn't know, Julie and John's Allotment Adventures, their new YouTube channel as well. So yeah, Julie's getting into the swing of it already. But it's all that learning curve, isn't it, at the start? Do you remember that, Christine? Remember when you first started and you look back now and think, oh, God, I wish I'd done that a bit better.
Oh, yeah. I think it wouldn't be normal if you didn't make a few mistakes, though. And it's how you learn, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, prior to the substantial polytunnel, I was one of those victims of the flimsy polytunnel that blew away and things like that.
You had one as well, Annie, didn't you? The green ones.
Yeah, what I did though, you know the tree stakes, I put one in each corner inside and obviously ran them in as deep as I could and then cable tied them to the frame, and I never had a problem, to be honest. The only trouble was that the plastic covers perished.
Right.
So I had to replace the cover, but they always stayed firm.
People are sorry about that. People are saying, Jesus, buy a sack of those daffodils. I did look at do you know how much a sack of daffodils was? I priced those up as well to buy a sack, and they were like £40 odd. I don't know what's happened to daffodils in my area, perhaps. I mean, this is Wales as well. And yes, I do. That's painful for you to say. Wilko and Trago seem to have the best prices near me. Wilko's not around anymore. No, where I am, I don't know. What's that, Annie?
It's online.
Yeah, true. But it's not the same. I miss Wilko, really. I really do. You know, like just buying your onions and your potatoes and things like that and just popping there to get bits and bobs. There really is a gap now in the market for, you know, just popping together those things rather than going to the garden centre. And I think that's why perhaps garden centres have bumped their prices up a bit as well. One, we had bad weather last year, so there was a lot of rain last year, so maybe they didn't do as good harvest, or they haven't got as much competition anymore, and that's the thing. Someone, Marvelous Gardener, nice to see you on, one of my members. What comes up first, daffodils or tulips? Bethan, is over to you at the studio.
Well, I think daffodils come up first. Tulips are usually about May time with me, I think.
Yeah.
That's my knowledge.
See, honestly, I think, Bethan, now you're going into it now and you're going to this rhythm, unless you I think you're gonna fly now, Bethan. I've got good feelings about your channel. Where to find deals on bulk. Hey, could be. You never know. This could be your year. I feel like it is. Bethan. I mean, it's still got to be your channel, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, Annie, there's certain things that you don't like doing. We were talking to Malvin, that you don't like doing on your channel, but other people do and things. And it's what best fits your channel, isn't it? And there's no right or wrong way about it, unless you're Jane Kelly, or Steve Digwell.
One of the things I really hated was the mid-roll ads, but I've done a lot of research and it just says do it. So I've started doing it now.
I know. There's nobody who... I remember when I first had my channel, I remember when I first had the option of putting ads, and I felt like it was going to end the channel, I was thinking, people are going to get fed up, and people get used to it. So while we're on the subject as well, I just thought I'd tell you all now, I just need to say this on a live because I don't want to explain it on a video. So I've been actually using this, and this was weirdly separate to it. So I was using Skillshare for my nursing, and then weirdly they offered me an advert to put on my channel for 3 months. So just to pre-warn you, it's not going to be every week, but I did sell my soul to the devil with this one, and I'm just being blatantly transparent with everyone that in October, November, December, one of the videos, it's like 30 seconds long. I've just warned you, and it will be me as well, so it won't be like, welcome. But I'm just telling you that will be in there because I am actually using it for my nursing, and you can use it for your gardening, which I didn't know about as well. So now I've got basically they offered me the free package, so I can use it for my nursing for the next 2 years as well. So it really does benefit me, and I'm just being blatantly honest. So I just thought I'd bring it up on the live so you can't hate me as much in the on the videos. But yeah, it's going to be in October, November, December, and then but you can use it for your garden as well. It really has got loads of stuff on there. So yeah, I'll go through it all anyway, but we'll see. But yeah, Annie can then roll her eyes at me when I'm doing it there and go, God, this boy, honest to God, he tests my patience. I'm joking. Oh, Annie, do you know, although I will say this about you, Annie, though, whenever I have an email off you, I always know it's going to be a lovely email. Like it's always, I get death threats off some people, like Kerry from Dog in the Plot, Mayu, Steve Digwell is daily, Jane Kelly hourly. But you're always a pleasure to talk to, though, in you, Annie. Like and even at Malvern, it was really nice to see you so comfortable. It was really strange. Like you literally just fitted like a glove straight away, and you was like, even at the end when we was all having a coffee in the rain, everyone was like, we knew each other for years, didn't we? And
yeah,
it was so nice to this is another picture of you when we bumped into Ali and Trish. That was after Ali stuck her fingers up to me as well, so I'm just going to point that out as well. You see in my video. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Behind the scenes, we're all friends as well. So when we bump into each other, we all got the same passion. So that's why sometimes, there is a bit of a joke and stuff. And
I think you've created this, Danny, with your lives. You've created it. You've been the person that's sort of brought everybody together.
Should I call this live? Am I Jesus? That's going to be the clickbait thumbnail. No. I just felt that there was a gap, and that's the reason why. I did do the lives because I really did enjoy lives. That was the main reason. I remember the first time I did a live, it was on Jane Kelly's, and I was absolutely so drunk, honestly. But the problem is with Jane Kelly's, they do encourage you to do those things. So they were like, "Oh, bring a glass of wine." So I brought a bottle. Well, like you could see me going under the table like this, trying to fill it back up. Oh my God, I was so drunk by the end of it, but I was giggling a lot. I wasn't doing anything else. I was answering questions and things, but I really did enjoy this platform of talking. And then
I've spilt my wine.
Here she goes. I started making her get thirsty now. It's all right, Jane Kelly. Jane Kelly went off last week. She had something in the oven. But, I noticed there was like a gap where not many YouTubers were connecting as much as they used to, and I didn't know why that was. Like people started not so much collabing together, but they all seem to be just fending for themselves on their channels and trying to. And I generally do think that if we work together, it is beneficial, because not only is it because YouTubing can be a lonely place as well. You know, you can be doing it and you haven't got nobody to say, I've tried that millions of times, don't do that. And I mean, we are all, I mean, there's been times where, like, Annie, you've messaged me and stuff and said, like, look, I'm just struggling with this, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes you just need someone to say, I'm going through the same thing, or it's and that does happen sometimes, and people do get that little dip in mood sometimes as well, where you feel like I've had enough, because you've felt like that, Beth, and sometimes as well, haven't you, where you thought like, it is a tough gig sometimes.
Yeah, but part of the reason why I set up my YouTube channel originally was that nobody really that I knew gardened, and I had discovered this new passion and I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. So I decided to start up my YouTube channel, and it was really lovely because people do give you advice and comment on, oh, I wouldn't do it that way, I would do it this way, and then it gives you something to think about, and you sort of think, well, I'll see if my way works out, and then if not, I'll try it that way next time,
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I've got the same as well, though. I think it's always nice to have that little support, like someone might message me sometimes, another YouTuber, and want just a bit of encouragement or something, and then I message Tony then and say, like, Tony, like I tend to pester Tony as well, but like the analytics sometimes, and I mean, like, Tony's really good at those things and stuff. I mean, he's not good for anything else, to be honest, and Jane's rubbish at everything, but yeah, so like there's always that other person, like a friend, to help you, and that's what I like about this YouTube, and especially these lives as well, because you might never have met Christine, Annie at any other time, or never would be able to say in the future, if you bumped into each other or wanted to do a video together about something, this has kind of linked you together, and that's what I like about this, and that's what I like about YouTube now, is that, and so yeah, I'm really glad that the lives have helped people as well become friends as well. So it's nice. It's it shouldn't be all Jane bully, but yeah, is that
what else I found about it as well is because you're putting out content, you double check what you think to make sure you're actually saying factual stuff. Because you don't want to be putting out stuff there which you believe is correct, which is actually not correct at all. So you're double checking everything first. So it's an education for yourself as well.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, like, I do try and check sometimes if I'm questioning myself, but sometimes you'll be so certain about something as well, and then even if a person comments saying, "Oh, actually, that's that's wrong or right or whatever," and you have got to take that sometimes. You've got to take that little brunt sometimes and be like, oh, yeah, they actually was right. I was wrong. But I think the difference is when you come on and you say, do this and you'll get the best crop ever. If you do that, you're asking for trouble then if it's wrong. If you go on there and say, this is my experience, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm learning, I'm just the same as you. I've always said this to Jane and stuff as well. Like, we're no different to anyone else watching YouTube, except we go out there with a camera and film it, and that's the truth. We'll always make mistakes and stuff anyway. Speaking of, I want to promptly go on to something now, because it's time for Guess the Gardener, because otherwise we'll end up with right at the end like we did last week, and I blame it all on the guests that were on that week, so it was definitely their fault. But yeah, so let's play.
You're really quiet, Danny. You're quiet.
Am I back now?
No. Oh, you are now?
Yeah, just towards the end. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that video thing clicks out my thing. So yeah, so this week, let's have a look. Who is Guess the Gardener? It is. Now, I've actually had to put a few... I had to put something over the screen of it because maybe you'd guess straight away. So some of the guests I've actually had to mock up things as well. So yeah, does anyone know who this is? Anyone have a guess? Come on, right in the chat, everyone. Who do you think this is? What gardener?
Is that
No,
Tony?
it's not Digwell Greenfingers. Not Digwell Greenfingers
Is
with our
it Tony
jawline.
O'Neill?
You think it might be Tony?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Tony.
Anyone else in the chat think it is? Who do they think it is? There is other. If you can't guess on this one, I have got another one as well. So Linda's saying Tony as well. So Claire said, Jane said it's a Shay. Digwell said it's Jane. Everyone's guessing it's Tony.
I don't know.
We'll give another picture as well, just because I think this picture is cute and it makes the person look like they're adorable. But yeah. Oh,
that is Tony.
I thought it was Got One. I did, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was. Everyone seems to think it's. Someone said it's Steve.
Yeah, I'd say that was Tony.
You think it's? You think it's? Someone said Teen Tony. It is actually Tony. Everyone was right this year. I mean, you can tell it's Tony with those eyes and that big smile, can't you?
He still wears those sunglasses, doesn't he?
What?
He still wears those sunglasses.
That's it. It looks like Jack the Ripper. Well, he ain't far from that, to be honest. Nothing special. Nothing special but his eyes. Oh, God. Yeah. So this week, it was Tony. We have got loads. Honestly, we got a few gardeners in. Bethan, maybe you can pop some in as well. And maybe others will come on here soon as well. But yeah. Someone said it was too easy. Yeah, Tony. I mean, I think Tony's saying that he looks the same now, doesn't he? Really, same height as well. Same height, but but yeah, we've had quite a few though, and I think it's quite fun as well. I like the fact that 1 or 2 weeks they're just not going to know, and I've got a few that I think they're never going to know who that is. But yeah, maybe next week it'll be you. So we'll see. Yeah. So yeah, what time is it now? Guys, quarter past already. We've got a few more minutes. If anyone wants to ask any questions as well, though, pop it in the chat as well, so that you can ask Annie, Christine, or Beth and anything. But yeah, Linda just said thank you for subscribing. Who's subscribing to Linda? Don't bother subscribing to. If anyone haven't seen Linda's new music, though, go and have a look. Honestly, the Malvern ones are marvelous, so we do love that one. So yeah, so we've talked about some pests though, but are we? I'm shocked that nobody, even in the chat, has mentioned slugs yet. God, Digwell's leaving now. He found out Tony was Guess the Gardener. I felt really bad though, because Kerry, I told her that she was coming on for a week or so, just so that she'd carry on watching, so that she'd hope that she was on. But yes, Jane, we have talked about pests. We talked about you for about 10 minutes. Clear off. There's not a net big enough for that woman, I tell you now. So we got one saying tips on creating a pond, but we're not going to talk about slugs. How come nobody's brought up slugs? I don't understand. Bethan, do you have a lot of slugs up there?
No, I don't tend to have that many slugs actually.
No, I think, and you think we would though, wouldn't you? Slug again, but I think I'm all right as well. Maybe they just like eating all the English.
Well, you've got your hedgehogs, haven't you? So maybe your hedgehogs eat your slugs.
Yeah.
That's actually a fallacy. I was told by a wildlife rescue place that they'll only eat
the little ones, isn't it?
They'll only eat slugs as an absolute last resort.
Oh, what do they eat normally then?
I think they eat worms and stuff. I'm not entirely sure.
People say about frogs as well that we'll get a pond because of slugs, but they don't actually eat the big slugs. They only eat like the little tiny ones. So yeah, but at least I suppose if you're starting them off with the small, someone just said, "What an amazing." Jay Dixon just said, "What an amazing and fabulous prize did I win for Teeny Tone as a guest? Am I now wealthy?" No, Jay Dixon, but I did actually wish you happy birthday last live as well, but you wasn't on. So just know that I did actually wish you happy birthday on our last live, because I seen on Gardener Scott's that his birthday coming up as well from the Farmyard Garden. So yeah. Maybe we'll have a party. I think it's around Halloween. The Halloween special's coming up as well, everyone. So it's going to be Jane's dressing up. Digwell's coming as himself. And I think it's going to be Linda as well. I think we're all dressed up for a fancy dress for Halloween. Now, the Christmas special live as well, I was going to talk to you about. I'll ask you all while you're here now as well. Bethan, you was on the Christmas one last year, wasn't you? You popped in, didn't you?
Yeah,
did you, Annie?
I was waiting backstage for quite some considerable time, but I did get about 2 minutes of airtime, yeah. So I won't be doing that again.
You are? You won't be doing it? Oh, it was a lot of stress, wasn't it, Bethan?
No, it was lovely. Everyone came on, didn't it? It was lovely.
Honestly, it was like the Muppet Show. It was honestly like the Muppet Show. But I'm thinking perhaps we might pre-record the Christmas one, and so it gives other people more chance to come on for a bit of their section. So I'll have 3 guests. Louis starting. It's almost that time. Come here. I think perhaps I'll pre-record it so everyone, the 3 guests will come on for like say 10 minutes. They can have their bit, and then we can go on to the next 3 guests as well. So it'll kind of be the same. I'm gonna have to keep wearing the same T-shirt on every single pre-record so that we try something is consistent. But yeah, I think that might happen. That's the only one. But the guests can still come on into the chat and stuff, but that won't be happening for every live. So they'll still be live. So don't worry. Yeah. Louis, let me just let Louis out. Go on, Louis. Out. Go on. Every live, right? I think he knows that once it comes to about like 8:15, I think I know what it is, because normally I walk him at 8:30. So I think he must think, he's on the phone. I'm not going out. But yeah, there was a question as well about ponds. Tips on creating a pond from Jersey CI Dave. Bethan, have you got a pond?
No.
I'm shocked by that. Well, you did have that front one in the front garden for about 3 months.
We are planning to put a pond in, and we've got the old bathtub that was in our bathroom ready to go, but obviously just need to dig it and put it in and everything. So I think that's going to be a winter job, hopefully.
Ooh, look forward to that. Annie, have you ever thought you've got your little fountain, haven't you, Annie?
Yeah, I've also got a little wildlife pond, but it's in a butler sink. But I think I'm going to have.
That's right.
Yeah,
a very good video for you as well, Annie.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move it, I think, because it doesn't get enough sunlight, and also I've got when I my summer house, the door can't open fully because the pond's in the way. So I think really the location of it, I need to move it.
Yeah, I won't be getting a pond.
Why is that, Christine? Your fox might want to have a swim or something.
No, I'm just petrified of frogs. So
my mum is petrified of frogs as well.
Yeah, Bethan, we had all that nonsense when your mother came down to stay, didn't we? At Linda's.
I remember seeing that video and thinking, well, there's someone else like me then.
Yeah.
Because I can deal with the furry things, rats, mice, anything like that doesn't bother me. Spiders good, but frogs, I am so frightened of them.
I love a frog, me.
I wouldn't do them any harm, but I think it's because they're so still and then suddenly they move.
Yeah.
My mum can't even look at them, you know, she can't even
No, I can't look at the
cartoon frog or anything. She's
no,
like,
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm like that with worms. I can't bear worms.
God, you lot have picked the wrong hobbies, I tell you. You picked the wrong hobbies.
I mean, they're good for the garden, and I'm pleased when I see them because I know that it's healthy. But I don't want them anywhere near me. And if my hand touches one, I run around the garden like a screaming banshee.
Why don't you put that on your videos, Annie? I'd watch it even more then. Jane says Danny's got a pond inside his ponytail. Yeah, I have at the moment. But yeah, but I like having a pond though. I'm even building another one on the new plot as well. There's loads of plans for that. Now the tunnel's up, the fruit cage is going to be built next, I think. Yes, that's right. And then the new shed. So I'm looking forward to that whole glass front and log burner. And Linda's already been saying you must have a patio out front because she wants a new cafe. She wants to franchise the Feel Good Garden. So I think she wants the franchise. So I think she's going to supply the racer bars, and I think the racer bars in Aldi should sponsor Linda because honestly, she don't have to keep them in business. But yeah, I don't know. Well, thank you. Anything else that anyone wants to ask? We've got 10 minutes to spare. Can you believe it? I think we'll talk about the slugs, which I want to go back to that quickly. Is that I don't have as many problems about slugs, and I've talked about it before. But yes, I do have problems with moles. But you can't have it all. Do you know what I mean? But
yes,
I think perhaps you just need to battle through them. And if you get rid of one, I'd rather have slugs and moles than have like when you see people having foxes and badgers smashing down there. And I'd rather there's always someone worse off. I think, but yeah.
Do you
but
have
I don't find
rabbits on your plot?
No. We don't have nothing. I don't know why. I don't know why it is, but yeah, I do see a lot of rabbits, out on there's a farm next to us and there's loads of rabbits there and also in the field behind. I've seen them there. But maybe we are quite fenced, it's very much fenced in, so yeah. Maybe I wouldn't mind a few rabbits, dare I say it, but yeah, I think they would annoy me in the end though. Someone's saying, are you going to give tours? I think gardeners would come. Tours to where? Annie's house. Let's go to Annie's house.
Well, you've been invited already.
That's it. Annie said I can stay over. We're gonna have a gardener's night in, and a couple.
What are you going to do on your gardener's night in? Watch Gardener's World?
Well, she can curl my hair, and I don't know. Probably watch Sex and the City box set.
Thank you. Not for me.
That's what I normally do at Tony's when I go for a sleepover. He loves Sex and the Cities, and he's also a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well. So that's can I? Oh, there you go. I'm not. George has just said, I can highly recommend Tony's slug nematodes video. Worked 100%. Absolutely. I haven't seen Tony's nematode video. I'm just going to say that because it'll make him grit his teeth a bit. But I'm sure there's a lovely video.
Sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah.
Tony's nematode.
Go over and check out Tony's nematode.
I think that's where I've got to go next time. I've tried every other slug repellent possible. And in my home garden, I love growing hostas, and they're just a magnet to slugs and snails. So I think the nematodes are definitely on my list for next year.
Yeah, I got quite a few hostas as well around my pond, believe it or not. And the slugs don't bother them either. But do you know what I found, Christine, that stopped the slugs as well around my pond area is that I put pine needles down as a mulch, just pure pine needles. Someone was getting rid of a Christmas tree. I was shaking it away, and I actually had people in work as well. In my last job, we had all the unit Christmas trees, and they were shaking them and then sweeping them up and putting them into bags for me and all. And I mulched all around my pond, and they hate climbing over those pine needles, and they never bother with my hostas. But I like a hosta too. But yeah, nematodes, Christine, is the way forward. Jem had tried it last year. I just said Jem, and it does knock about. It do take, I will say, probably 2-3 years where you finally see like minimum damage. But yeah, mine, you never see me have videos where I'm like, oh my god, look, the cabbages are full of slugs and things like that. You're gonna get the odd slug.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave someone a cabbage or lettuce, and they said, oh, there was quite a few little slugs in there. But I wasn't annoyed by that. I just thought, okay, that means I've got to give another dose now in the spring. So just wait till it gets a bit warm, Christine, and then off you go. And if you're going to do the nematodes, my advice would be, as a little tip to save you from doing the little watering can thing, if you've got a Bosch pump, Christine, haven't you? So that'd be okay. So what I do is I connect my Bosch pump up, or you can connect to the hose if you're allowed to at your allotment site. And you know the Miracle Grow fitments that you can buy for them on the front that you can put the Miracle Grow in. If you put the nematodes in there, it works a charm. No clogging through your watering can, and you can just do the beds in spring, and it knocks them back so much, because the little baby slugs are growing in the soil at this point, and the nematodes go in. They're natural. There's nematodes in your beds at all times anyway. All you're doing is multiplying the amount that's in the bed so that the slugs, there's too many for the slugs to basically miss, in the soil. And yeah, it is a bit brutal on the slugs, but they rot down into the soil and off they go. But it works a charm for me every time.
Yeah, that's definitely what the route I'm going to take, because nothing else was touching them.
Well, excuse me. So, I give it a try. I highly recommend it. Can you still start a channel if you have already started working on your plot and you're far ahead? Yeah, I think you can start a channel anytime you want. I mean, my allotment was already half started. I was on my second plot before I started a channel. Bethan, you moved from an allotment to your garden, didn't you? And so did you, Annie.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So you don't mean you don't have to start a channel from the start of the story. You can always start your channel from where you're going, and always talk about the past and show pictures and things as well, because viewers always want to know the ins and outs of your growth as a channel and as an allotment as well, or garden. So I would, Marvelous Garden, I think, if you haven't already, then of course start anytime. Yeah, like Claire just said.
Well, if you think about it, if that was the case, then everybody would stop doing their channels as soon as they got established.
Yeah.
But your garden changes as well, doesn't it? Yeah. Your ideas on things change. You might first start off growing very regimented, and then go into like companion planting and having bits and bobs all over the place, So
or move a lot.
Well, yeah, or move. Yeah.
Deb's veg plot just said, I would love to do YouTube, but I don't even like having my photo taken, let alone be in a video. Now, Ali at the Rusty Garden, she was exactly the same. You can't get her off it now. I remember when Ali first started, and we were nagging her, come on, Ali, start a channel. And then she finally did, and she still didn't show herself for about 3 or 4 months. And I remember I asked her to do a collaboration, and she sent me like a clip or whatever, and I said like, oh, Ali, you need to show yourself. This is what I need. And that was the first time she showed herself, and everyone was like, oh, this is what Ali looks like, because I thought Ali was a man. I actually did. And this is a funny story about Ali, is that Ali used to message me like on Instagram and stuff, because her husband's picture was her profile picture. And she used to say things like, hey, handsome, do you want some seeds sent and stuff like that? So I used to be like, oh, thank you, Mr. Ali, but I'm okay, thank you. And then every now and again, he'd be like, hey, handsome, hope you're having a nice day and stuff. And I thought her husband, Gerald, was Ali. And then it was a long time afterwards that I worked out what it was. And I remember Steve from Digwell Greenfingers, he said the same to me, messaged me once saying like, is Ali a dude? Because and I was like, no, Ali is a lady. But then now she's on her camera, and she did that collab and stuff, and she's comfortable doing it now. So back to my point is, I think, you do get used to it, don't you, Annie? You get used to YouTubing, and you get more confident and more comfortable.
Yeah, you do. You forget that you're actually filming yourself because it's like you're just talking to people.
Yeah, I talk to the camera like I'm talking to a friend. That's
yeah,
how
exactly.
I do it, so.
Yeah.
Bethan, what about you? I don't think I've ever seen your first ever video. That might be on the list tonight, Bethan, to have a look, because I bet you start off with "Hello." I love impersonating. Every now and again, Bethan, right? I'll be in the house and I'll just say "Hello," and it just makes me smile, Bethan.
Okay.
But I just like to pretend to be Bethan for a couple of minutes.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
It is wonderful. Bethan, are you going to come and visit in spring again? Come and visit Linda, and I might turn up.
Yeah, I might visit Linda.
Maybe bring your mother. Maybe bring your mother again, and the children as well. It'd be nice. They can see the
I might be down in Wales over Halloween, so
that's
give you a bell.
Too soon for us.
Oh, is it? Oh, all right.
No,
all
yeah.
right.
If you're down around about Halloween time, come down then.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I'll let you know.
Yeah, we could. Oh, yeah.
I'll come and dig some of your allotment for you.
You can dig inside the polytunnel, Beth, and bring your waders. Cheryl just said that. Cheryl from Cheryl's Garden on Instagram just said, every year we start from scratch, really, with new seedlings and moving things. And this is the thing with Cheryl. Cheryl's actually a good friend of mine, and also she's Linda's friend as well, but I mean, she's Linda's neighbour as well. They actually got plots next to each other. And every year you go over and Cheryl has blitzed her plot. Now, I mean, nothing is safe to be moved, and she redesigns every year, and it always comes beautiful. Every year I show it, and Cheryl's one of the biggest sharers on the allotment as well. So big up to Cheryl, because she do supply me and Linda with some lovely flowers and seedlings as well. Also, some of them that are not labelled. So the mystery plant in my sprout patches was Cheryl's fault, and they're actually purple sprouting broccoli. So whoever commented saying that, you were right. So yeah, they are. There you go. We're not here just to look pretty enough for someone else. I don't know what that means, Betty. I think Christine, Bethan, and Annie are here to look pretty anyway. That's why, there you are. Look, see Kerry, not just a bully, charm as well. Charm. Well, thank you so much to everyone. If anyone's got a YouTube channel, you know the drill. Pop in capitals now, saying YouTube. Or if you've got an Instagram account as well, type in Instagram and maybe the Instagram Addy as well if you want. And yeah, pop it in the chat now and stuff as well. But also don't forget to subscribe to Annie, Christine's, and Bethan's channels, and also to the moderators. There's a lot of moderators. So if you see a little spanner next to them there, if you want to subscribe to Jane, you're a glutton for punishment, really. But Claire, Tony's, there's loads of admins and things in the chat now as well. So Lisa White, I see you commenting all the time as well. So I'm going to make you a moderator, Lisa, because you actually are on my my allotment site as well, and she's giving me some patch rice. So yeah, so you're now a moderator, Lisa, as well. But yeah, Lisa White, you wrote YouTube. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel though. Look at Jane writing Instagram. Don't go to Jane's Instagram. But yeah, it's so nice to people seeing that they've got Instagram accounts. So if you have, go over and check other people. I see what you mean, Betty Barnes. I see what you mean now. You're saying for people afraid of others' judgment, don't like pictures taken. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But I think with YouTube, you have got to have a bit of a thick skin sometimes, because you will. You don't get them all the time, but if you retaliate to those kind of comments, it does happen more often, I think. But I just think, if they took the time to comment on something like that, then there's more issue with them than you've got. You just carry on doing your YouTube channel, carry on smiling, enjoying, and doing your hobby, because, that's our place, Like I don't have to go on YouTube. You don't, Christine, Beth, and Annie. We do it because we want to share our passion of what we're doing. Oh, there he is, Paddy. Annie, we didn't even show pictures of Paddy, but luckily we've got a video. We've got him in real life. So yeah, and I feel I always feel bad because I ask you all to send so many pictures in, and we didn't go through half of the pictures again. So here's Bethan's bacon. Here's Bethan's cheese and tomato. Is this going to be a sandwich, Bethan?
No, it was mozzarella and tomato and basil from the
You
garden.
getting too posh, you are, Bethan.
Nice.
You've changed since you changed, you have.
There you go.
But yeah, we
had.
had.
Go out.
Do
you want to go out? Let's open the door.
Go on then. So yeah, so thank you so much everyone for coming on. Annie, we're gonna say goodbye now anyway. Annie's gonna come back and nobody's gonna be there. Should we wait for her?
Just got to let Paddy out.
That's right, Annie. It's only the end. Well, no, thank. I'm sorry for last week as well, where everyone just shut off and we left. But we did all say goodbye, but for some reason the live cut us off. So I think we'll all just wave now for about 10 minutes, Annie, and all right, and then hopefully we'll still be here at the end. So thank you so much, Christine, for your first time coming on. I hope you come on again. Bethan, always a pleasure, and hopefully you come.
Nice to meet you,
Annie.
Christine.
Yeah, and you.
Yes.
And you.
I think Annie and Christine, you're not too far. I think you should do a visit on each other, because Annie, it'd be nice if a YouTuber came to visit your garden. I think it'd be lovely.
Well, Bethan's closest, apart from Ali and Trish.
Yeah.
You're the next closest,
Well, so you,
aren't you?
Yeah,
wow.
probably.
There you go. Well,
See,
you all
Danny's
meet each
leaving me
other.
out of the group now. He's arranging, a play date between you ladies and leaving me out.
I didn't hear that part. But Bethan, get involved. You need some more gardening friends around you. And what better group than Christine and Annie? You don't want what I got. I got Tony, Digwell, and Jane. I mean, I'm scraping the blooming barrel here. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, except for Steve Digwell. Thank you so much to all my moderators tonight as well, and everyone else for joining in, because it's always been a pleasure.